Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering Jubilees, chapters 31 through 33.
Yeah, we got it right.
Yeah, we did. And you know what else we got? The heavenly tablets.
Whoa!
Going to be talking about the heavenly tablets.
These things have been popping up throughout.
Yeah, they really have. And you know what? I'm excited to learn more. I think Jacob's going to get to read some of that today.
What? That's nuts. Why
isn't it?
Are they written in Hebrew?
Does
he speak Hebrew?
See, I'm not sure. But what I am sure about is that, of course, Jacob could read them because it's Jacob and it's presumably some language of God, which a lot of people did think Hebrew was, basically the language of God.
Oh.
Also, a lot of people later thought that Greek was the language of God. In fact, a lot of languages are like that.
What about Latin?
I don't. If it was, then I don't know about it.
Wow. Well, Abraham came from somewhere. Yeah. He wasn't born in the land of Canaan. He migrated there.
Yeah. Born in Mesopotamia, I think.
Mesopotamia.
Somewhere in that region.
And in that region, 5,000 years ago, are there any fragments of anything that suggest anyone was speaking Hebrew?
No, not to my knowledge.
Well,
there is plenty of evidence of stuff that's that could be described as like an early form of Hebrew. I don't even think a Paleo Hebrew would have been. You said 5,000 years ago. No, I don't think so. No, not at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
either way,
go.
How about we hop into some readings today? I don't know why we were talking about that, but we were. So we can hop into the readings. What translation do you have?
I have the James C. Vanderkam Hermenia translation of Jubilees.
That's
what do
incredible.
you have?
You know what? I have the exact same thing, but it's also a commentary.
Wow.
I know. Isn't it incredible?
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
You're blowing my
amazing.
mind.
This is
here.
from Hermenia. And honestly, that's really the only commentary we need.
Yep.
It's Jubilees. It's already a commentary.
It's a commentary on a commentary. Which
it is.
Our commentary on will be.
And sometimes I'll react to what the two guys are saying. So
we have more commentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with how we're doing this. All right. How about we hop into it then, starting with chapter 31.
Yep. Okay. This is Bethel. Jacob sees his parents, and Isaac blesses Levi and Judah. Preparations and travel to Bethel. On the first of the month, Jacob told all the people of his household, "Purify yourselves and change your clothes. We are to set out and go up to Bethel, where I made a vow on the day that I ran away from my brother Esau to the one who has been with me and has brought me back safely to this land." That was the full sentence. I couldn't stop in the middle of a sentence.
Fair enough.
I totally got it.
So the year is the same as the one that's last mentioned, so that's a 2143. So just for context there. And this section that you just read off is, well, you can finish the verse, actually.
Okay, remove the foreign gods that are among you.
There you go. That's the end of the verse. That section is very similar to Genesis 35, 2 through 3. So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you and purify yourselves and change your clothes. Then come, let us go up to Bethel." And yeah, pretty much all the other stuff that was said.
Mm.
So it's quoting that pretty much, just in a little bit of a different order.
All right.
Yeah.
They handed over. There's a little subscript. The Ethiopic reading melted seems inappropriate in the context. It may be that a confusion between two look-alike verbs in Hebrew or Ethiopic led to the reading. So in Ethiopic it says they melted, but here it's they handed over the foreign gods their earrings and their necklaces.
Yeah, so
Necklaces.
necklaces, good job.
There's like a dash. It's like neck dash, next line laces.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Sucks.
Yeah. So more on the Ethiopic one. The Ethiopic manuscript read melted, which seems wrong in this clause. Manuscript 1235 read in imperfect. I think it's an imperfect. Yeah, an imperfect form, also yielding an inappropriate sense. Manuscript 38 reads tore them away, amended from gave up. And that's it. It's in the Ethiopian, but I know I'm going to butcher it. No way. There's a one consonant difference.
Mm. And the idols that Rachel had stolen from her father Laban. She gave everything to Jacob, and he burned them, broke them into pieces, demolished them, and hid them beneath the oak that is in the land of Shechem.
About time.
Yes.
Yeah. So lots of Deuteronomic stuff in here. To the destroying of idols.
It seems really strange that they would reference this in Jubilees, the oak that is in the land of Shechem. Like, people know what that is.
Well, here's
Is it a single tree?
Well, I think it would have been the one at the... Was it at a grave, I think? I think I remember something about a tree at Shechem.
Is there commentary?
Yes, there is. So Jacob's treatment of the idols is decidedly more destructive than in Genesis. It reminds one of what Moses did in Exodus 32. Yeah, that's the calf. He took the calf that they had made, burned it with fire, ground it to a powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. For anyone that wants more context on that, I have a whole video about the golden calf. Jacob also seems to be following the Lord's command to Moses in Deuteronomy 7:5 regarding how to handle the cultic paraphernalia of the 7 Canaanite nations, break down their altars, smash their pillars, hew down their sacred poles, and burn their idols with fire. The gods would be unusable to anyone who came upon the site in the future. Jacob, in burning the gods, imitated his grandfather Abraham, who had incinerated the temple of Ur with its idols. That's Jubilees 12:12. It is interesting that the place where he hid the remains of the idols is under an oak in the region of Shechem, since much later Joshua would exhort the Israelites to put away the foreign gods that are among you when they gathered at Shechem. Yeah, I guess other than that, there's nothing there.
All right. On the 1st of the 7th month, he went up to Bethel. He built an altar at the place where he had slept and had set up a pillar. New section. Jacob, his parents, and his 2 sons, Levi and Judah. Invitations, arrival with Levi and Judah, meeting with Rebekah. He sent word to his father Isaac and to his mother Rebekah as well to come to him to his sacrifice. Isaac said, "Let my son Jacob come so that I can see him before I die." Jacob went to his father Isaac and his mother Rebekah in the house of his father Abraham. He took 2 of his sons with him, Levi and Judah. He came to his father Isaac and his mother Rebekah. Rebekah went out of the tower into the tower gates to kiss Jacob and hug him because she had revived at the time she heard the report, "Your son Jacob has now arrived." She kissed him. She had revived.
So what verse is that?
That was verse 6.
Okay. Just as the reader might anticipate, Rebekah, who was more spry than her elderly husband, is the first to greet her long-absent son. When she got the news that Jacob had come, she went out to meet him before he even got inside the tower gates. The writer relates that she revived, literally her spirit lived, when she heard of his arrival. So she was just really abounding with joy.
She was very, very happy.
Oh, you are back, my son.
Wow.
I am so happy to see you, child.
They have this tower, too?
So organic.
Well, the whole tower thing would have been for, I think it was for the feast, right?
It's in...
I mean, no,
verse 6.
Yeah.
And, they say it's at the house of Abraham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means the house of Abraham has a tower?
Well, okay, so...
I remember Abraham having a tower. It was great.
The tower gates, the house of the tower of. Yeah, it's not really that... I guess that's just a translation choice.
So what is it, like a castle?
I mean, I wouldn't say a castle, necessarily. It's just a big house, or like
with a tower?
Oh my god!
No, the house is a tower.
Is it a tower? The whole thing?
I don't think so.
Great.
I don't know, man. Just means the house of, I think.
I guess. When she saw his 2 sons, she recognized them. She said to him, "Are these your sons, my son?" She hugged them, kissed them, and blessed them as follows: "Through you, Abraham's descendants will become famous. You will become a blessing on the earth."
Classic.
Yep. Now there's a new subsection, meeting with Isaac and blessing of Levi and Judah. There's an introduction to the scene. Jacob went into his father Isaac to his bedroom where he was lying down. His 2 children were with him. He took his father's hand, bent down, and kissed him. Isaac hung on his son Jacob's neck and cried on his neck. Then the shadow passed from Isaac's eyes, and he saw Jacob's 2 sons, Levi and Judah, and said, "Are these your sons, my son, because they look like you?"
Are these my grandchildren? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they look like you?
Yeah.
He told him that they were indeed his sons. "You have noticed correctly, Father." So Latin makes a statement direct. They are indeed my sons. And Ethiopic reads for "you have noticed correctly, Father."
Okay.
It says it repeats the word for truly / indeed.
Okay, so you're definitely right that these are my sons.
Yes. Indeed.
You're absolutely
indeed.
correct.
Yes. That they are my sons. When they came up to him, he turned to them and hugged both of them together. Latin says both. Ethiopic has all.
Okay.
Spirit of prophecy descended into his mouth. He took Levi by his right hand and Judah by his left hand.
Hold on. The spirit of prophecy?
Yes, a spirit of prophecy descended into his mouth. Then he takes Levi by the right hand and Judah by the left hand.
So it's just the power of a blessing, I'm guessing?
So is this like a reference to the Civil War period, the two kingdoms period? There's Levi and Judah, right?
It's close, not quite.
One is taken by the right hand, one by the left hand, which is like
does
biblical.
does it say which one is taken by the right hand?
Yes, Levi is taken by the right hand.
Okay.
Judah's taken by the left hand.
The thing is, Judah was doing all right. But because being at the right hand is, that's the where you want to be, right?
Mm.
So if Judah was doing all right, and Judah was usually the one in God's eyes, was the good one.
Mm.
So you would think that if it was about that, you'd think that Judah would be taken by the right hand.
Right. But the Levites are given special privileges.
They definitely are.
They also have the inheritance of God.
Well, let's just do this.
So when God dies,
special privileges. They're, they just do stuff for God. That's their inheritance. They do all the churchy stuff, all the synagogue stuff, all the religious stuff. That's on them, and that's what they got. They got to worship God in many ways.
What a fair trade.
Yeah, everyone else gets land, but you get this temple where you get to worship, and not just where you get to worship. You get to worship on behalf of the rest of the people, and you get to help them you get to help the rest of the people with their worship.
Yeah. So there's like obvious right hand symbolism throughout the Bible, which is like, that's a good thing. The left hand symbolism in the Bible, I'm not aware of a lot of it. Like,
okay. So
more.
Hold on. The choice of hand indicates priority, as the order of blessings in verses 13 through 20 shows, as the parallel in Genesis 48 indicates. When Joseph's parents present his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, in that order, as Manasseh was the older, Jacob reverses the names already in his speech in verse 5, but Joseph leads them forward in such a way that Jacob will place his right hand on Manasseh and his left on Ephraim. Okay, so it's a priority of blessing. So they're both getting blessed.
Okay, so right hand goes first.
Yes.
Okay, Isaac's blessing of Levi. He turned to Levi first and began to bless him first. He said to him...
Oh, also, on the spirit of righteousness descended into his mouth. Apparently the phrase occurs again in Revelation 19:10. And Revelation 19 is where Jesus comes riding down on a white horse. And that one is actually Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah. A lot of people identify the first horseman as Jesus. Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't make any sense, because Jesus is the one opening the seals.
Oh, maybe...
No, that's not Jesus. Yeah. The one in chapter 19 is Jesus.
The lamb opens the seals.
That's
right?
Jesus.
That's Jesus.
The lamb is Jesus.
Okay, and he's also bread, and he's also wine.
Yes.
And
he's not wine. He's like those things. He's also I guess he's also not literally a lamb.
His blood is wine.
Let's keep reading.
Okay. He said to him, "May the Lord of everything, he is the Lord of all ages, bless you and your sons throughout all ages. May the Lord give you and your descendants greatness and honor." Greatness and honor are mentioned those in a slightly different expressions in Ethiopic and Latin.
Yes, I have quite a big textual note on that one, actually. Greatness for honor is the Ethiopian one. Actually, no, I guess that would be the more literal translation. The Ethiopian one is your great descendants to know his honor. Or maybe that's the Latin. I don't know. I think the first one's Ethiopian, the next one's Latin. Sorry, this is all kind of jumbled. The Ethiopian's noun plus a cognate adjective looks questionable, although the term greatness is used elsewhere for Levi and his offspring. The Latin may give a better text, but the expression to know his honor is not attested. Priestly knowledge is a familiar theme. Charles preferred the Latin and proposed changes to conform Ethiopian to the Latin. Reuben also follows Latin, but changes it to read in abundance of knowledge in his glory. The two versions share the words great and honor, so they were part of the text. So now he's quoting. Is he quoting himself here? Yeah, he's quoting himself. It may be that under the influence of the word greatness, a scribe or translator misread Mathane, which is so that's an active one. Mathane as Megan. That would be a weird one, but sure, why not? And thus gave rise to the Ethiopian adjective. Perhaps it is safest to conclude that the text speaks about two gifts from the Lord to Levi and his descendants, greatness and honor. So that's where he's at.
All right. May he make you and your descendants alone out of all humanity approach him to serve in his temple like the angels of the presence and like the holy ones.
Yes. So, we talked a lot about what's, as it is in heaven, so it shall be on earth, right? Mm-hmm. So when, the reason some of the worships are the way they are is because the angels had been doing them that way for a very long time, right? Yeah. So
this is hermetic as fuck, yo.
The verb serve or minister is a regular one in connection with priestly duties. In fact, the priests are the ministers of the Lord. In describing the holy district, the angel tells Ezekiel that one part of it shall be for the priests who minister in the sanctuary and approach the Lord to minister to him. Another section shall be for the Levites who minister at the temple. Isaac speaks of their serving in God's temple. Like the angels of the presence and like the holy ones. These are the two highest classes of angels according to Jubilees 2:2. The angel of the presence, who was revealing the account to Moses, had said in 30:18, Levi's descendants were chosen for the priesthood and as Levites to serve before the Lord as we do for all time. The Testament of Levi, 3:5-6, relates that in a vision, Levi saw 7 heavens, in the 6th of which are the angels of the presence of the Lord, those who minister and make propitiation, I think that's how it's pronounced, to the Lord, for all the sins of ignorance of the righteous. And they offer to the Lord a pleasant odor, of course he likes that, a reasonable and bloodless offering. Usually it's less bloodless. An especially good parallel figures in the blessing of the sons of Zadok, the priests in one of the Qumran scrolls. May you abide forever as an angel of the presence in the holy habitation to the glory of God the host. Sorry, to the glory of the God of hosts. May you serve the Lord forever and be all around. May you serve the temple of the kingdom of God, ordering destiny with the angels of the presence. Yeah.
The descendants of your sons will be like them in honor, greatness, and holiness.
So all that stuff together now. Spider the Ateo, thank you.
Thank you, Spider the Ateo. That's going towards our 666 drive.
Yes, it is. And we are going to do some Scientology stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get ourselves a thetan meter, and we're going to see who the most clear is. And we're going to talk all about Elron.
And remember,
Hubbard.
our buddy Baal needs your money to do this
He
because
does.
he's really the one that's making this possible.
Yep. He's commanding the Thetans.
He's commanding the Thetans.
Yeah, this is the new canon. Okay.
Okay. Either way. So yeah, let's continue.
Yeah. May he make them great throughout all the ages. They will be princes,
So
judges,
yeah, read it.
and leaders of all the descendants of Jacob's sons. They will declare the word of the Lord justly and will justly judge all his verdicts. They will tell my ways to Jacob and my paths to Israel. The blessing of the Lord will be placed in their mouth so that they may bless all the descendants of the beloved.
So they will justly judge. That's some good words right there.
And instead of placed in their mouth, Latin reads placed in his seed.
Okay. So the functions that Levi's posterity will perform are the subject of verse 15, where Isaac envisages an extraordinary future for them. Though they will indeed perform sacred tasks, he predicts that they will also be princes, judges, and leaders of all the descendants of Jacob's sons. Big claim there. So yeah, points out the connection to the Levites and the word used applied to the Levites in First Chronicles. So the Levites, for the word judges here, the Levites played judicial roles, and it references Deuteronomy, First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, and Ezekiel. And one of the Qumran scrolls uses a word for them that apparently is related to judges and judicial things. In some passages, in Judges especially, the term encompasses broader leadership roles. Yeah, and the last one just doesn't matter. Leaders is fine.
Yeah. Your mother named you Levi, and she has given you the right name. You will become one who is joined to the Lord and a companion of all Jacob's sons. Instead of joined to, Latin has for the adornment of. This probably arose from a misreading of the Hebrew etymology of Levi.
Mm. Well, you know what? I'm glad we have this to correct them.
Yes. His table is to belong to you. You and your sons are to eat from it. May your table be filled throughout all history. May your food not be lacking throughout all ages. May all who hate you fall before you, and all your enemies be uprooted and perish. May the one who blesses you be blessed, and any nation who curses you be cursed. This
Curse
is
them.
a common formula in blessings.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. Isaac's blessing of Judah. Then he said to Judah, may the Lord give you the power and strength to trample on all who hate you. Be a prince, you and one of your sons, for Jacob's sons. May your name and the name of your sons be one that goes and travels around in the entire earth and the regions.
So I want to point out quick. So just like there is a Testament of Levi, and it contains a lot of parallels to Jubilees 31:13 through 17, there's also a Greek Testament of Judah, which exhibits some parallels with Jubilees 31:18 through 20.
Mm-hmm. Then the nations will be frightened before you. All the nations will be disturbed. All peoples will be disturbed.
About time.
Yeah, holy shit, man. He's like, you guys are gonna make
Rock
the
the boat.
entire world bow down before you.
Rock the boat,
Yeah.
baby. Don't tip the boat over.
Okay, Lawrence. May Jacob's help be in you. May Israel's safety be found in you. At the time when you sit on the honorable throne that is rightly yours, there will be great peace for all the descendants of the beloved nations. The one who blesses you will be blessed, and all who hate and trouble you, and those too who curse you, will be uprooted and destroyed from the earth and are to be cursed.
Good.
Yeah, that's a lot more hardcore.
This is all we've been wanting.
You know, these Levites, man.
What about the Levites?
So they get forced into temple service, and the ones who curse them, you know, they're cursed, but the ones who curse the Judahites are to be uprooted and destroyed from the earth and are to be cursed.
Yes.
That's, you know, we thought that Levi would get special treatment, getting the right hands.
Well, maybe being cursed is worse in some ways. Why is this out here?
No,
Why do I even have these up here?
I don't know. They're also cursed. Both of the people are cursed, right? There's no difference in the curse except that for the Judites, they the ones who curse them in addition to being cursed are to be uprooted and destroyed from the earth.
Oh, well then I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, man. That's some favoritism.
I mean, I would say so.
That's not good parenting skills. Don't do that with your children. Okay. Further conversation with Isaac. He turned, kissed him again, and hugged him. He was very happy that he had seen the sons of his true son Jacob. He moved out from between his feet, fell down, and bowed to him. He then blessed them. He rested there near his father Isaac that night. They ate and drank happily. He made Jacob's two sons sleep, one on his right and one on his left, and it was credited to him as something righteous. That night, Jacob told his father everything, how the Lord had shown him great kindness, that he had directed all his ways favorably and had protected him from evil. Isaac blessed the God of his father Abraham, who had not put an end to his mercy and faithfulness for the son of his servant Isaac. In the morning, Jacob told his father Isaac the vow that he had made to the Lord, the vision that he had seen, that he had built an altar and everything was ready for offering the sacrifice before the Lord as he had vowed, and that he had come to put him on a donkey. But Isaac said to his son Jacob, I am unable to come with you because I am old and I'm unable to put up with the trip.
Well, you know what? He's doing a lot more here than he was in Genesis.
Yeah. Yeah. Go safely, my son, because I am 165 years of age today.
Please, leave me alone.
I am no longer able to travel. Put your mother on an animal and let her go with you.
So how old is she?
Uh-huh.
I forget how old she is.
Old.
Well, of course she's old. But yeah, go get your mom. I'm too old for that.
That's pretty creepy, man.
Also, I'm sure she is too.
Yeah.
They're both old and decrepit.
Yeah, but how much older is Isaac?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Or at least I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we were told. But.
Yeah, probably. I know, my son, that it was on my account that you came. Blessed be this day on which you have seen me alive, and I, too, have seen you, my son. Be successful and carry out the vow that you made. Do not delay in carrying out your vow, because you will be held accountable regarding the vow. Now hurry to perform it. May the one who has made everything, to whom you made the vow, be pleased with it." He said to Rebekah, "Go with your son Jacob." And then there's another subsection.
Great.
It's the last one for this chapter.
Good.
It's quite short, too. This is the return to Bethel and the joyful reflection on his father's blessings. So Rebekah went with her son Jacob, and Deborah with her. They arrived at Bethel. When Jacob recalled the prayer with which his father had blessed him and his two sons, Levi and Judah, he was very happy and blessed the God of his fathers Abraham and Isaac.
You know, it's really weird. Levi and Judah aren't here.
No.
Yeah, just a interesting note, I guess. I feel like they should be.
I guess he just left the kids with their grandpa.
I guess.
165-year-old man.
Can't
taking care of a couple of kids.
I can't really do much. Can't travel.
Kids, I'm immobile. Oh, they're gone.
Yeah. He said, "Now I know that I and my sons too have an eternal hope before the God of all. This is the way it is ordained regarding the two of them, and it is entered for them as an eternal testimony on the heavenly tablets, just as Isaac blessed them." And these heavenly tablets.
Yeah, so lest anyone think that Isaac was merely engaging in wishful thinking in the blessings upon Levi and Judah recorded in verses 13 through 20, the writer adds that they were ordained for the two young men and that they were entered on the heavenly tablets as an eternal testimony. There it is again, the eternal testimony.
Well, yeah, because the spirit of prophecy descended into Isaac's mouth. So whatever he received must have been on the heavenly tablet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because that's all the angels know.
Their presence in the celestial document guaranteed that they would both come into effect and endure through all time. Well, that does anyone want to tell them?
You know, I'll let them find out.
Okay.
In their.
In the afterlife? Okay.
Yeah.
There could be no greater confirmation than this. There was no doubt that Isaac's words of blessing, like those of God, would find fulfillment. Well, you know what? At that time when even at the time it was written, at the time Jubilees was written, they would have already been exiled, and they already would have come back, right?
Most likely.
Yeah, so, I don't, okay, so maybe now they're specifically talking about, because this isn't the dynastic promise, so I guess they're specifically talking about this heritage existing forever, which, you know what, this is kind of almost all humans, I would say. Like, people's genetic lines. You know, if you, especially, you know, how far back are we talking here? Let's just say 2,000 something years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guessing someone of that genetic lineage exists today. Guessing a lot of them.
Probably.
Actually, most of them maybe. Probably not most of them, but quite a lot of them.
You know, the thing about reproduction is that it's not always 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Either way.
Recombination.
Let's hop into the next chapter, shall we? Chapter 32.
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't you take this inferior version, and I'll take this superior version.
Man, I love inferior versions.
Great.
Sweet. All right.
I'm sure you do.
All right, so chapter 32, tithing, temple building, and departure.
All right.
So here's Levi's dream. That night, he stayed at Bethel. Levi dreamed that he and his sons, was appointed and ordained to the priesthood of the Most High God forever. When he awakened, he blessed the Lord. That's a weird dream. Yeah. Well, sorry, not really a weird dream, but
unlike
the way you respond to that dream is kind of weird.
Yeah, so it doesn't say who sent the dream to Levi. Only reports that he had one. So
Of course. I mean, how could the author of Jubilees know that? That'd be crazy.
Right.
Jacob got up early in the morning on the 14th day of this month and gave a tithe of all that had come with him.
Oh, hold on. There is some material in the Aramaic Levi document and the Testament of Levi resembling Levi's dream about being appointed to the priesthood. As they have been pieced together, what they call chapter 4 in the Aramaic Levi document, Greenfield, Stone, and Eshel read in 4:4, then I was shown visions, in the vision of visions. In the sequel, there is a reference to the priesthood and possibly to the Most High God. Only a few letters of the words survive of 4:7, while in 4:13, Levi reports that he awakened from sleep. The closest parallel in the Testament of Levi is in chapter 8, where Levi has his second vision, in which 7 men in white clothing invest him with priestly garments. They say to him, "From now on, become a priest of the Lord, you and your seed forever." He awakens in verse 18. Kugel agrees that the parallel is with the Testament of Levi 8, a section he labels Levi's priestly initiation. For him, this is an originally independent work that was incorporated into the Aramaic Levi document and eventually into the Testament of Levi. The author of Jubilees was aware of it and felt he had to acknowledge it, but it posed a problem for him. As Kugel sees the matter, he was especially interested in the motif of a chain of priests stretching from the ancient patriarchs through Abraham and Isaac.
I mean, I'm sure he would. That was always a pretty important thing. That's why they were divided up that way.
Yeah. Since Jacob is not a priest in Jubilees, Isaac appointed his grandson Levi to the position. Appointment by heavenly figures in a dream in which Levi is actually appointed priest.
I'd say it's pretty good.
Yes. Hardly harmonized with the theme, so the writer reduced it to one line. Kugel has correctly noted that the material in Levi's priestly initiation is downplayed in Jubilees 32:1, yet as it appears in Jubilees, there is no conflict between it and Isaac's blessing, contrary to Kugel, which, contrary to Kugel, did not involve appointing Levi to the priesthood. Chapter 31 contains only his predictions about Levi, not ordination of him.
Well, I mean, if it's coming from God, aren't those like almost the same thing?
Yeah, basically. There's some references to the megalot.
Because if you're talking about the heavenly tablets here, like, yeah, it's basically from that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to continue here, though. So, yeah, Jacob got up early in the morning on the 14th day of this month and gave a tithe of all that had come with him, from people to animals, from money to all utensils and clothing. He gave a tithe of all. At that time, Rachel was pregnant with her son Benjamin. Another pregnancy. Good for them. Jacob counted his sons from him. He went up the list, and it came down on Levi in the Lord's share. His father put priestly clothes on him and ordained him. On the 15th of the month, he brought to the altar 14 young bulls from the cattle, 28 rams, 49 sheep, 7 kids, and 21 goats. So all of the, or I shouldn't say all of the, but quite a lot of the factors, multiples of 7. Yeah. And there are some textual notes here.
So there's a bit on this. In the first 4,
yeah, apparently
with verse 4, the text moves to the next day, 15th 7th month. It says that Abraham was the first to celebrate the festival. The first notice after the date concerns the number and nature of the offerings Jacob brings to the altar, all of which constituted a pleasing offering for a pleasant aroma before God.
I bet, but this is nothing like the offering that Solomon's going to have.
Right, but the many victims are accompanied by grain and liquid offerings. The numbers are unusual, as is the way in which the writer presents them. The following chart compares the number of sacrificial animals for the Festival of Tabernacles in 5 lists. 2 from the Hebrew Bible, 1 from the Temple Scroll, and 2 from Jubilees. In the first 4, the numbers are explicitly for the offerings each day of the 7, with the number of bulls in columns 1 and 3. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and apparently numbers 7 and 21 are due to a mistaken reading of a Greek number. The Ethiopian reads 60 instead of 7, and also due to a misreading of a Greek number, the Ethiopian has 29 instead of 21.
Yeah, so there's like varying numbers for all of the animals.
I'm sure, yeah.
In different areas.
Sounds about right. Anyways, they're sacrificing all this as a burnt offering on the altar and as a pleasing offering for a pleasant aroma before God. This was his gift because of the vow which he had made that he would give a tithe along with their sacrifices and their libations. When the fire had consumed it, he would burn incense on the fire above it, and as a peace offering 2 young bulls, 4 rams, 4 sheep, 4 he-goats, 2-year-old sheeps. So, 2-year-old sheep.
Yeah, 1-year-old. Right.
Yeah, 2 1-year-old sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Leviticus...
And 2 goats.
Leviticus 3, see Leviticus 7, 16 through 18.
I think we had the same problem when we were reading Leviticus, right?
Yeah, it provides the instructions for these sacrifices, from which parts are offered to God and the rest eaten by the one presenting the offering. Seems to imply that the peace/well-being sacrifice consists of a single animal. How could you eat more than one? Whether from the cattle, sheep, or goats. It may have been normal for an individual, but there were public peace offerings involving more animals. Jacob offers a goodly number, but hardly approaches Solomonic abundance in this regard. It may be that this is the only offering to which the writer adds the notice that he presented at each of the 7 festal days.
Yeah, this is what he would do daily for the 7 days. He was eating happily there. He, all of his sons, and his men for the 7 days. He was blessing and praising the Lord who had freed him from all his difficulties and who had granted him his vow. He tithed all the clean animals and made an offering of them. He gave his son Levi the unclean animals and gave him all the persons of the people. Gave him all the persons of the people? Are we talking about slaves here? Or?
The persons of the people.
Yeah, that's verse 8.
The king of Sodom's request in Genesis 14:21.
Okay. Yep, that's a good idea, using altars. I'm going to keep reading. Levi, rather than his 10 brothers, served as priest in Bethel before his father Jacob. There he was a priest, and Jacob gave what he had vowed. In this way, he again gave a tithe to the Lord. He sanctified it, and it became holy. So what he had vowed, I'm guessing, is the thing that we're about to look up here, huh? Because when it says that...
yeah, he says, give me the folk and take the substance for yourself.
Okay. Is there no commentary on that from Walter?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, basically that. Okay.
Great.
People. Next section here on tithes.
Yeah, so the paragraph appeals to the heavenly tablets for the rules about tithes, and from the language adopted, it is evident that Deuteronomic legislation lies behind verses 10 through 14.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that this guy the author was just loving all the stuff in Deuteronomy.
Yeah, so we're about to get some statements about the heavenly tablets.
Although, let's be fair, so the curses that were described before, let's compare those to the curses in Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy 28 specifically.
No.
Nowhere near as intense.
Not even close. Deuteronomy 28's nuts.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to eat your children.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It does say that. For this reason, it is ordained as a law on the heavenly tablets to tithe a second time, to eat it before the Lord year by year in the place that has been chosen as the site where his name will reside. This law has no temporal limits forever. Okay, so you know what I'm starting to get? I'm starting to get this feeling here. Oh, that's a good idea. Food in general is just a good idea right now. But no, what I'm getting at is we've had this is the second time this has popped up, right? Mm-hmm. This law has no temporal limits forever.
Right. What
I'm guessing is that this is just conjecture. So please take this with a grain of salt. Tell me what your thoughts are on this. Specifically in response to people who thought they no longer had to follow some of the laws. So if there are a bunch of people no longer following these laws because they just don't see it as mattering, because some of the laws directly related to the temple, right? But that temple was gone. So
and other laws people just don't care about. Like in modern times, people, even like true believers, right? They don't care about like the rule about not growing two grains next to each other or you'll be stoned to death.
Yeah.
Like who does? Who cares about that? They don't care about like the cure for leprosy that's thrown into the Torah.
Yeah, so what I'm going to go with here is that people did stop following these laws. They also had the same kind of feeling that, maybe some of this stuff really shouldn't, maybe this stuff is in the past. We can move on. But the author of Jubilees here was maybe not so happy with that. That's just conjecture.
They were old-timey even back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's continue here. That statute has been written down so that it should be carried out year by year to eat the tithe a second time before the Lord in the place that has been chosen. One is not to leave any of it over from this year to the next year. Okay, so you can't save any of it. It has to be all fresh and new, all the tithes. For the seed is to be eaten in its year until the time for harvesting the seed of the year. The wine will be drunk until the time for wine, and the olive will be used until the proper time of its season. And this is actually very similar to
This is
I'm getting Joseph's story vibes here.
There's
Or a time for.
So 11 through 14 is supposedly like remarkably parallel to the Temple Scroll XLII 3 through 17. Which
Roman numerals, man.
yeah, I'm not fucking around with any else. Okay. Yeah, so the temple scroll and the place where that is it's talking about a system of first fruits holidays in which there's a period of 7 weeks between the first and the second and the second and the third. So it's like a festival system.
Okay, so I guess it's actually that seems pretty like regular calendrical stuff, right? Because it's very similar to the Jubilees, but just on a shorter time scale.
Like eating stuff and like olives and feasts of wine. Yeah. And consecrating things and yeah.
Either way, everything you should use up all the stuff before you harvest the new stuff.
Yeah.
Is what it's going for. Don't let it go to waste. Wow, that explains a lot of experiences growing up. Because was not allowed to leave anything on that plate. I had to finish it all, or I had to eat nothing.
I only heard of this thing called.
You got some crumbs,
plate, like club.
You got some crumbs on that plate. I see.
Yeah,
his family made him finish his meals. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I tended not to, especially if the food was like really not that good. Yeah, I just ate it to not be, to not die. Oh, some of that food I was not prepared to finish.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's continue here.
Nice borscht.
Yeah,
delicious. Some matzah to dip in that borscht.
No, I always had it with borscht and sour cream.
Oh, okay.
Because Russians put sour cream on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Any of it that is left over and grows old is to be considered contaminated. And my throat is not feeling so good right now. Hold on. Ah, man. Really dry. And I just had some water. It is to be... That was weird.
Is it raining and thundering, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if that came through on the mics. I don't think it did.
No.
But loud thud.
Look at that.
Oh, my God. What if it's God?
Why don't you go check that out while we read Jubilees?
All right. Yeah, we'll continue here.
Okay, so... Jubilees.
I'm going to finish the verse here. Yeah, it is to be burned up because it has become impure.
Yeah, so this is part that's in the temple scroll, right? They say in the temple scroll... and that the remains of their feast shall be consecrated and burnt. It shall never be eaten again, for it is holy.
Okay. Yeah, okay, makes sense. In this way, they are to eat it at the same time in the sanctuary. They are not to let it grow old. The entire tithe of cattle and sheep is holy to the Lord, and is to belong to his priests, who will eat it before him year by year, because this is the way it is ordained and inscribed on the heavenly tablets regarding the tithe. Now, setting aside whether or not it's ordained on the heavenly tablets, I'm guessing that if you were a person in the ancient world, maybe you stocked up on some stuff you could give to the priests, and then maybe there's a famine going around, and you need the fresh stuff that you have, and then you just give them some of the old stuff. And maybe they were really upset about that. And maybe they decided to, maybe write something like this to tell people to fucking stop giving them their old shit.
Maybe they did.
There's a chance. I don't know. Again, conjecture.
I don't know.
All right, next section here. Night appearances to Jacob.
Yes, this section contains a blend of material from Genesis and elsewhere.
During the next night, on the 22nd day of this month, Jacob decided to build up that place and to surround the courtyard with a wall, to sanctify it, and to make it eternally holy for himself, and for his children after him forever. And I need more water. Hold on.
Wow. Drink your water, man. So there's a vow. Yeah, it's not much to say about this part.
I'm good. Don't worry. I'm good. Let's do this. The Lord appeared to him during the night. He blessed him and said to him, "You are not to be called Jacob only, but you will also be named Israel." He said to him a second time, "I am the Lord who created heaven and earth. I will increase your numbers and multiply you very much. Kings will come from you, and they will rule wherever humanity has set foot." Well, no. "I will give your descendants all the land that is beneath the sky. They will rule over all the nations just as they wish. Afterwards, they will gain the entire earth, and they will possess it forever." So lots of apocalyptic. Yeah, it is technically apocalyptic. And it's also eschatological as well.
Yes.
When he had finished speaking with him, he went up from him, and Jacob kept watching until he had gone up into heaven. In a night vision, he saw an angel coming down from heaven with 7 tablets in his hand. He gave them to... Yeah.
What verse is that?
That is verse 21.
21. Okay. So...
Yeah, that's a lot more than the others.
Angel appears with these 7 tablets.
Are these the heavenly tablets?
They are not called the heavenly tablets.
Oh, okay.
Both the Ethiopic and Latin translations use different terms for them than they do for the heavenly tablets.
Okay,
but their contents are consistent with what is elsewhere said to be on the heavenly tablets.
Well, that would make sense. But yeah, this is the one. This is the version that's for people to read.
The RNA of the group.
The translation.
Absolutely. The human translation.
You know, if you're not reading Jubilees in the original Enochian scripts, then
that's totally, yeah. He gave them to Jacob, and he read them. He learned everything that was written in them, what would happen to him and his sons throughout all ages. After he had shown him everything that was written on the tablets, he said to him, "Do not build upon this place, and do not make it an eternal temple. Do not live here, because this is not the place. Go to your father's house, or the house of your father, Abraham, and live where your father Isaac is until the day of your father's death. For you will die peacefully in Egypt and be buried honorably in this land, in the grave of your fathers, with Abraham and Isaac."
That was very important.
And not only is this very important, you could say probably made the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could have avoided a whole thing. Probably could have avoided, the whole Exodus thing.
Yeah.
So,
probably.
Well then, do not be afraid, because everything will happen just as you have seen and read. Now you write down everything just as you have seen and read. Then Jacob said, "Lord, how shall I remember everything just as I have read and seen?" He said to him, "I will remind you of everything." When he had gone from him, he awakened and remembered everything that he had read and seen. He wrote down all the things that he had read and seen. Okay.
What was he doing, reading and seeing? I just couldn't tell.
So
this
is
a lot of information.
This is a history of everything, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and
laws. It's got laws too. We've established that
he and his descendants are gonna be doing forever.
Right. So,
everything in the future.
So we are now establishing that Jacob is the author of this. Whatever this is, Jacob is, he's the guy who wrote it down for humans.
What?
Let's just call these the heavenly tablets for now, even though they're not called it.
The heavenly-ish tablets.
The heavenly-ish tablets. All right. So he wrote the heavenly-ish tablets for humans. He wrote it down for them. That is what we're establishing.
Yeah, but the heavenly tablets existed prior to.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying that he wrote it for humans. That without Jacob, they, it's weird. They already had some of the knowledge, right? Because there was the guy from before who was saying that he wouldn't do something. Laban, right? He said that he wasn't doing a specific thing because it wasn't written that way in the tablets. So, what is the other way that they're getting this information? It has to be divine, right?
No. He didn't say that he wasn't doing it because it wasn't written in the tablets. He said that he wasn't doing it because that wasn't the way of the people who lived in that country.
I thought it was a tablet thing.
Then they remarked that it was written in the heavenly tablets.
Okay. Well then.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Not confusing at all. Okay. Next section here, an extra day.
An extra day. So God appears to Jacob. Jacob receives a vision in which an angel spoke with him during the night of 7/22, the day after the Festival of Tabernacles ended. That momentous following day is now to be appended to the previous 7 days of the festival to create an 8-day holiday.
Oh, exciting.
7/15 through 7/22.
Exciting. He celebrated one more day there. On it, he sacrificed exactly as he had been sacrificing on the previous days. He named it Detaining because he was detaining one day. So
he named it Detaining?
Yep.
Because he was detained there one day.
Okay, so because he was detained one day. Okay. Horrible name for a festival, but okay. Or a sacrifice. Either way, it's a horrible name.
Horrible name.
He named the previous ones the festival.
That was really creative.
What a guy.
This is the way it was revealed that it should be. And it is written on the heavenly tablets.
Of course it is.
Yeah, for this reason, it was revealed to him that he should celebrate it and add it to the 7 days of the festival. It was called Detaining because of the fact that it is entered in the testimony of the festal days in accord with the number of days in the year. Weird sentence. There.
Yeah,
Verse
so
29.
The wording has been a subject of dispute, due in part to differences between the Ethiopic and Latin versions.
Gotcha.
So
Classic.
there's like a lot about it, but it's just linguistic problems.
Gotcha. In the night on the 23rd of this month, Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died. They buried her below the city, beneath the oak near the stream. He named that place the Stream of Deborah, and the oak of the oak of mourning for Deborah. So is that the same oak from before?
It's got a name now.
Doesn't say.
Damn, that's a bummer. Verse 30.
No. Judge Deborah was associated with the stream, but it's not in the region of Bethel.
Yeah.
Presumably, the stream named after Rebekah's nurse was one of the wadis in the vicinity.
Gotcha. Then Rebekah set out and returned home to his Hold on. Then Rebekah set out and returned home to his father Isaac. Through her, Rebekah sent... Oh my God, hold on. Through her, Jacob sent rams, he-goats, and sheep to make his father a meal as he would wish.
Doing all right?
Uh-oh. I mean, I'm doing all right.
Are you sure?
No.
This
is a weird sentence, but I'm all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, making food, as we have seen before.
Yep. That's
an act of trickery, especially with Rebekah.
Mm-hmm. How
right? It was
she?
Rebekah. It was I think it was Rebekah, right?
What? Who?
No, or was it Rachel?
What? That was Leah, man.
Leah. The horrible mother?
The horrible mother?
Yeah.
There's several.
Okay, fair enough. But no,
yeah, you're talking about Rebecca.
Okay. Well, there you go. He followed his mother until he reached the country of Cabratan, and he remained there. Any info on Cabratan?
Cabratan is the name of an area between Bethel and Hebron.
Okay. During the night, Rachel gave birth to a son. She named him Son of My Pain because she had difficulty when she was giving birth to him. Mm-hmm. So the other ones were easy, I guess. Lucky her. But his father named him Benjamin on the 11th of the 8th month during the first year of the 6th week of this Jubilee, 2143. So they had two different names for the child, I guess.
So from Genesis 35:16b and 18 through 20. Rachel was in childbirth, and she had hard labor. As her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem, and Jacob set up a pillar at her grave. It is the pillar of Rachel's tomb, which is there to this day.
Yeah, Rachel died there and was buried in the country of Ephrathah. Yeah, of Ephrathah. That is Bethlehem. Jacob built a pillar at Rachel's grave on the road above her grave. So now that is the end of chapter 32. But no more info on the name, huh?
What, Son of My Pain? Yeah.
No, but I mean, why the disagreement?
She named him Ben-Oni.
Yeah.
While she was dying, and then his father called him Benjamin.
Yeah.
So, but
I feel like they should have agreed on this beforehand. But okay.
It's entirely possible. Those are very similar names.
Yeah.
Maybe the implication of one was better than the others, so he just assumed that she meant one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like, the author of Jubilees rearranges the material of Genesis.
As is tradition.
The naming of Benjamin is the first instance in which Jacob overrules a wife when she named a child. Neither Genesis nor Jubilees explains why.
Huh, okay. Well, great. We're left, twiddling our fingers over here for that one.
Yep.
All right, but here is this book back.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we can hop into this next and final chapter for the day. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Good, I'm glad.
And it's pretty short, too.
Yeah, chapter 33.
Chapter 33. Reuben's
Yeah,
son.
looks like it's about you.
Oh, my son. With Bilhah. And Jacob's moved to the house of Abraham. Jacob went and stayed to the south of the tower of Eder at Ephrathah. Is there anything on that name?
Yes, I think there is. So the Latin. Okay, so hold on. Genesis 35:21 reports, Jacob journeyed on and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder. Ethiopic Jubilees has him go and stay to the south of Magdaladaref. The first syllables transcribe the place name, and then that's in Hebrew, so I can't read it. And the last syllable may be the beginning of some other term, but the term is actually, and it's in Hebrew too, but the term is actually present in manuscript 44 and 63 and has the land of Ephrathah. The Latin transcription suggests as much. Magdala Ephratam.
Mm-hmm.
In it, the element Ephrathah is clear, while the word eater seems to have left little trace. Charles drew attention to some tractate from a rabbi, this is Testament. This is the Testament of Reuben, where Reuben tells his sons about this very situation. For while Jacob, our father, was absent, having gone to Isaac his father, and we were in Gader near the Ephrathah. So in the Greek, En Gader Pelesion Ephrathah. All of these names imply that the unknown eater was not far from the spot where Rachel was buried. Jubilees says that Jacob went to the south of, where Genesis phrases it as beyond the place. But the meaning may be the same because their movement from Bethel in the north entails they would be south of Migdal Eder in Ephrathah if they had gone beyond it.
Okay. He went to his father Isaac, he and his wife Leah, on the 1st of the 10th month. When Reuben saw Bilhah, Rachel's maid, his father's concubine, bathing in water in a hidden place, he loved her. He entered Bilhah's house secretly at night. And found her lying alone in her bed and sleeping in her tent. After he had slept with her, she awakened. She awakened and saw that Reuben was lying with her in bed. She uncovered the edge of her clothing and took hold of him, shouted out, and realized that it was Reuben. She was ashamed because of him. Once she had released her grip on him, he ran away. She grieved terribly about this matter and told no one at all. When Jacob came and looked for her, she said to him, I am not pure for you because I am contaminated from you, since Reuben defiled me and slept with me at night. I was sleeping and did not realize it until he uncovered the edge of my garment and lay with me. Jacob was very angry at Reuben because he had lain with Bilhah since she had uncovered the covering of his father. Jacob did not know her again because Reuben had defiled her.
The word is raped?
Yeah.
Because she was just asleep.
Yeah, she was just asleep.
So yeah, okay. Wow. Reuben, you're horrible.
It was me. It was like that when I got here.
Wow. All right then. That was
something.
Yeah, so of course the whole defilement thing comes back, right? Because this is you have been tainted pretty much. That's the whole idea there. A sexual sin has been committed, and even if you're the victim, you're tainted.
Wow.
Yep. Thanks, Jubilees.
Great. Judeo-Christian morality. New subsection, the angel's address to Moses. So we're back to Moses, I guess. As for any man who uncovers the covering of his father, his act is indeed very bad, and it is indeed despicable before the Lord. For this reason, it is written and ordained on the heavenly tablets that a man is not to sleep with his father's wife, and that he is not to uncover the covering of his father because it is impure. They are certainly to die together, the man who sleeps with his father's wife and the woman too, because they have done something impure on the earth.
Yeah, they have done something impure, right? Not he, they.
There is to be nothing impure before our God within the nation that he has chosen as his own possession. Again, it is written a second time, let the one who sleeps with his father's wife be cursed because he has uncovered his father's covering. All the Lord's holy ones said, so be it, so be it.
I mean, honestly, got no commentary here.
Okay, so now we're in a new subsection, commands for Israel and the special case of Reuben.
Oh, okay. Let's just straight up special pleading here. Let's
outright special pleading.
Yeah.
All right. So now you order the Israelites to observe this command because it is a capital offense and it is an impure thing.
Oh my God! Hold on. I love this. The way that this is talked about here. The eager reader has to wait a little while for the answer to his question because the author first underscores in several declarations how terribly wrong it is to have sex with the wife of one's father. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. But either way, I love how he's like, well, okay, they're going to get to, I don't know what's going to happen next here, but I'm going to guess and say we're not going to like it.
Yeah. Spoilers, come on.
To eternity.
So they're trying to do some damage control before it starts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hop into it.
To eternity, there is no expiation to atone for the man who does this. But he is to be put to death, to be stoned, and to be killed and uprooted from among the people of our God.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable. For any man who commits it in Israel will not be allowed to live a single day on the earth because he is despicable and impure. They are not to say Reuben was allowed to live and have forgiveness after he slept with the concubine of his father while she had a husband and her husband, his father Jacob, was alive. For the statute, the punishment, and the law had not been completely revealed to all, but only in your time, as a law of its particular time, and as an eternal law for the history of eternity. There is no time when this law will be at an end, nor is there any forgiveness for it. Rather, both of them are to be uprooted among the people. On the day in which they have done this, they are to kill them.
So because they didn't know it was wrong?
Yep, because the law hadn't been written yet.
But it was.
Yeah, but only a few people had read it. I mean, Reuben didn't read it.
I guess.
Fucking moron.
Yep. Now you, Moses, write for Israel so that they keep it and do not act like this and do not stray into a capital offense, because the Lord our God, who shows no favoritism.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here's some more stuff on that one, actually, on what we just talked about here. So verses 15 through 6. Wow, I can't talk. Verses 15 through 16 provide the anticipated answer to why Reuben did not die for what he had done. The writer of Jubilees sets as one of his objectives in rewriting Genesis and the first half of Exodus to demonstrate that the ancients lived according to more laws than a casual reading of the narratives might imply. Those narratives refer to few specific laws. Almost all of the Pentateuch legislation is revealed to Moses and Israel in the wilderness. However, Genesis does offer a few hints that the patriarchs lived in obedience to revealed law. Abraham, for example, received the law of circumcision, and of him, God said, he obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Jubilees crafts an account in which the ancient ancestors of Israel have more laws disclosed to them than in the Hebrew Bible, and they transmit them to the next generations, which is classic. One of the subjects on which Abraham had instructed his offspring was sexual matters and the need to avoid impurity in them, although he had not addressed the particular issue of incest. That they keep, like, I get that this is like ancient writing. I guess they wouldn't have found that's the specific act of fucking a sleeping woman as bad. but they keep hitting the mark. They're like, yes, this is bad, but not because of this. They think it's bad because of other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, they weren't married.
Right, or it's incest. That's the biggest issue. Or it's it's your father's maiden or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Great. So apparently God shows no favoritism and takes no bribe and is the judge. It's objectively false. I mean, the God in this story has taken many bribes and has shown definite favoritism.
Definitely favoritism.
Yes. Tell them these words of the covenant so that they may listen. Guard themselves, be careful about them, and not be destroyed or uprooted from the earth. For all who commit it on the earth before our Lord are impure, something detestable, a blemish, and something contaminated. No sin is greater than the sexual impurity that they commit on the earth, because Israel is a holy people for the Lord its God. It is the nation that he possesses. It is a priestly nation. It is a priestly kingdom. It is what he owns. No such impurity will be seen among the holy people.
Wow, very strict.
Yes. Now we're back into another subsection about Jacob. During the 3rd year of the 6th week, 2145.
Although I should note here quickly. So there is a hypothesis from Kugel, apparently, about an interpolator in verses 10 through 20. And, of course, we discussed one of his ideas before, and, according to Vanderkam, didn't hold up, apparently.
Yeah.
So let's see what he has to say about this one. Kugel finds the work of his interpolator in 33:10 through 20, where the heavenly tablets occur in verse 10 and are alluded to in verse 12. The issue in this instance, writes Kugel, is that the interpolator takes up something the author of Jubilees does not discuss: the fact that Reuben's crime was not appropriately punished. Actually, in Jubilees, Reuben is not punished at all. Yeah. Kugel thinks that the text of 33:16 is corrupt, but that the original sense of it can be inferred. As he sees the situation, the angel meant to say that Reuben, who did lose the birthright, did not receive the full fitting punishment for what he had done. As a matter of fact, Jubilees says nothing about Reuben's losing his birthright or being punished in any way. Kugel's rewriting of verse 16 shows only a loose relation with the wording and word order of the Ethiopic text and creates ex nihilo a decision by Jacob. He made a temporary ruling and disinherited Reuben, following the principle of fair warning. Mm-hmm. Our surviving textual evidence gives no support for importing the idea into the text and context. As noted in the commentary, the case of Reuben did not harmonize with the author's general thesis that the patriarchs lived in accord with more of the laws than Genesis indicates. So he maintained that this particular law had not yet been revealed. There is no need to assume the work of an interpolator here, and certainly no reason to rewrite the text to make it say something it does not say. So basically, he's just engaging in apologetics. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He recognizes the issue, and he's like, this is the best I can do, guys.
Wow. During the 3rd year of the 6th week, 2145, Jacob and all his sons went and took up residence at the house of Abraham near his father Isaac and his mother Rebekah. These are the names of Jacob's sons: Reuben his firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun were Leah's sons. Rachel's sons were Joseph and Benjamin. Bilhah's sons were Dan and Naphtali. And Zilpah's sons were Gad and Asher. Leah's daughter Dinah was Jacob's only daughter. After they had come, they bowed to Isaac and Rebekah. When they saw them, they blessed Jacob and his children. Isaac was extremely happy that he had seen the children of his younger son Jacob, and he blessed them. And that's the end.
Yeah, it's only fitting that we end on, I guess, kind of a genealogy, mini genealogy.
Yeah, so
a miniology.
So the readings today were kind of intense, man.
Yeah,
there's like rape and stoning people to death and
more heavenly
like,
tablets. Gotta love those
heavenly tablets. Yeah, man. Jubilees.
Yeah. Lots of stuff. Thank you, author of Jubilees, for that.
I guess.
So thank you, everyone, for watching. You know, if you guys enjoyed the show, please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. The likes actually do help us. The more engagement there is, the more we show up in suggested boxes.
Yeah, and check out our Amazon wish list.
Yeah,
where we have like a Septuagint Bible and like things that help us out on the show.
More than that,
make us more popular than the Penn and Teller Sunday School. We could do it. We're actually reasonably close.
We also have on the wish list some commentaries on Jeremiah, for example, which we will be getting into very soon on Atheist Sunday School.
Yeah, so if you want to help us out, then check out those Jeremiah commentaries.
Or any of the other books on there, you know.
Yep.
We appreciate all that stuff. We use them to, you know, as sources on the show, or we can read them and make videos and use those books as sources. You're investing in your own knowledge and your own entertainment. We read these things so you don't have to. Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yep.
And hey, we have a Teespring where you can get T-shirts. We have a Patreon where you can, donate to us in exchange for a number of things that I'm not going to list.
Yeah, you can get books. You can get T-shirt giveaways every month. So that
you could be on this show, reading with
us.
Or
a patron hangout.
Yeah, lots of stuff you could do. So check out our Patreon for all the rewards.
And I think that's
Facebook and Twitter. Free to follow us there.
Yep. So that's it for now. I guess we will see
you on Sunday.